Hello and welcome to Pathway for Joy. I am Carmen Andrea, certified grief counselor, inner healing, and emotional wellness coach. So, in today's audio video, we're going to be talking about what 30 days of intentional healing can actually do. So, as we close out this month together, I want to talk about something that often gets misunderstood, especially in healing spaces. What can 30 days of intentional healing actually do? Not 30 days of fixing yourself, not 30 days of pushing through pain, but 30 days of being supported, witnessed, seen, and held with intention. So, if you've ever wondered whether short term healing support can really matter, this conversation is definitely for you. Before we go further, let's slow the pace for just a moment. And if you've been watching my videos or listening to the audios as of last week, you know this is something that I like to do before we get into the content. So I want you to take a deep breath, inhale. And as you exhale, I want you to let your shoulders drop. Now I want you to inhale again, take a deep breath, hold it. And as you exhale, I want you to allow yourself to be right where you are in this present moment. Take a deep breath and inhale one last time. Slowly exhale. And I just want you to know that there's nothing to decide today, just space to reflect and to be present in this moment. Now we're going to go ahead and get into the content, the information for today. So many women carry a quiet skepticism about short-term healing support. A lot of you may be used to coaching programs that are 8 weeks, 90 days, 6 months, but I offer a different option. Okay. So we're going to be talking about that in today's video. We're going to be talking about short-term healing support versus a long-term option. Many women carry a quiet skepticism about short-term healing support. They wonder, is 30 days really enough? What could possibly change in such a short time? And some of you may be wondering, if I've been carrying this for years, how could a month matter? And those are honest, reasonable questions. But healing isn't measured only by how long, it's measured by how safely it's finally held. I'm going to say that again. Healing isn't measured only by how long something has hurt. It's measured by how safely it's finally held. Some women go years without even allowing themselves to grieve, and then they hit a plateau or they have an encounter or something shifts and they're finally able to embrace the grief that they have ignored, that they have tried to suppress for years. So sometimes what we need isn't more time. It's simply different conditions. Now, let me be clear about what 30 days of intentional healing is not. 30 days of intentional healing is not a reset button. 30 days of intentional healing is not a promise that grief disappears, because grief does not disappear. I'm saying this from professional knowledge and education and also from lived experience. 30 days of intentional healing is not about reaching emotional completion. What it is a container. 30 days of intentional healing is a container, and it's a defined intentional space where you're not carrying everything alone. Your emotions are allowed without judgment. Your nervous system has room to settle and to feel safe, and you're not rushing toward answers. I remember in the beginning stages of my grief journey when my husband had died and I realized that I was called to help other women heal. I would say things like, when I'm done grieving and when I heal, I'm going to be a life coach for women. I'm going to be a life coach for widows. Back then, in the early stages, I thought that grief and healing was a destination. I thought it was an end point. I thought it was something to strive for and to work towards. But as I've been on this journey for 7 years, I realized that it's not a destination. You're not rushing towards an answer. Healing doesn't always need more insight. Healing doesn't need an end goal. Oftentimes, healing simply needs consistency, safety, and presence. That's it. In 30 days of intentional healing, what often changes isn't everything, but enough. I'm going to say that 2 more times. In 30 days of intentional healing, what often changes isn't everything, but enough. In 30 days of intentional healing, what often changes isn't everything, but enough. Everything is not going to change in 30 days of intentional healing, but enough will change to allow you to experience a breakthrough, a release, a second wind even, to move forward into healing. So, in 30 days of intentional healing, women often experience a sense of steadiness where there was constant emotional tension. Women often experience less self judgment around their grief. Women often experience more clarity about what they actually need. And women often experience greater trust in their own pace and intuition. Sometimes when we have so many outside voices, or sometimes when we have people around us who have not experienced loss or the type of loss that we're experiencing, they don't know what's best for us. They don't know how to say, hey, I don't know how to help you, but I'm here to just sit with you in the pain. I'm here to just come alongside you and not say anything. Oftentimes the people that are around you, they really do love you, but they don't know how to help you. They may tell you things like, get over it, go and do this to get your mind off of it. It's been X amount of time, and you're still in this same place, because they don't know any better. So, intentional healing, it's not dramatic, it's grounding. It helps to create a firm, safe foundation on which you can continue to build upon your healing and creating space for any and all emotions that may come up. And grounding is very powerful. When your nervous system feels safer, emotions soften. It creates space for you to feel all of your emotions, to not try to push them down, to not try to ignore them, to not try to spiritually bypass them, but to allow them to rise to the surface and to express them. And when emotions soften, your perspective widens. You're able to see things through a different lens. You're able to see things not necessarily through your trauma, but you're able to see them through a healthy lens, a healthy perspective. And when perspective widens, healing begins to integrate. When your perspective widens and you create a safe space for your emotions and your nervous system feels safe, you can experience healing in many different areas, not just emotionally, not just mentally, not just spiritually, but relationally. And also in your perspective about the future and what it looks like to move forward, not to move on, but to move forward. So, one of the most healing aspects of a 30-day container is its boundary. There's a beginning, there's an end. There's no pressure to stay longer than needed. That clarity allows you to show up more honestly. It allows your system to relax. It allows the work to be focused instead of open ended, because healing doesn't need endlessness, it needs intention. I'm going to say that again. Healing doesn't need endlessness, it needs intention. If you've been listening to these conversations over the past few weeks and feeling a quiet resonance, not urgency, not pressure, but recognition, that matters. It may be a sign that you're not looking for more information. You may be ready for support, not forever, not endlessly, but intentionally. If you're listening and feeling like you may need more support, I offer a short breakthrough call where we can discern next steps together. This is not a counseling session. It's a calm, intentional conversation to explore whether working together in a short-term healing container would feel supportive for you right now. You can also join my email list if you'd like to continue receiving weekly reflections just like this, shared via email with honesty, care, and no pressure. You'll find both links in the description below, or you can go directly to my website, pathwayforjoy.com, to schedule your breakthrough call or to sign up for my email list to stay connected. So, as I close out this message, I just want to remind you that healing doesn't always require more time. Sometimes it requires a safe place to land. Thank you for being here. I'm glad you found your way to this space. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn your notifications on so that you get notified when I drop new content. And make sure you connect to my email list on pathwayforjoy.com. And if you feel like you're ready, if you feel connected to me, go ahead and schedule your breakthrough call so that we can explore options. I'll talk to you again soon.